Proverbs 21:31. The horse is prepared for battle, but victory is of the Lord. I'm Brother Bobby with the Off-Grid Church, guys. We're out here off-roading for a little bit, and figured we'd do a quick video in the rain, the things we do for you guys. I wanted to go through a quick walkthrough, a walk-around video of my 100 series Landcruiser that I built over the last 3 years, the modifications that I did, and the cons and pros of each of those modifications and things I would have done differently. We're going to try to make this brief because it is raining on us over here, so we'll go ahead and get started. Front end, I have a TJM bumper. That bumper is made from Australia. I think it's an Australian-based company, but it's a good option. It was one of the cheaper options, but it's been holding up very well. I've taken this truck to the West Coast, lots of places, and 30,000 miles of road trips already. But up front we have, these are some cheap Amazon lights that I got for the pier. I think they were like 80 bucks at the time. The lighting isn't too great. Now I understand why people pay the extra money for like KC highlights, because there's a major difference in that. Up front we do have a Badland 12,000 pound winch that I got from Harbor Freight at a discounted price. I've used it a couple times just going off road, and I had to tow a few buddies out. One of my friends, 80 series Landcruiser, I actually had to tow him out. Brian, if you're watching this video, how does it feel? See guys, it's about to storm even more, so we're trying to pick this up. I have these upgraded headlights. I forgot who makes them. These depot ones, they're Japan made, but they have the black housing. They're okay. I prefer the stock one, so I might actually go back to the stock headlights to come with it. We have a pair of Baja Sport S2 lights up here. These have been great traveling cross country. It shoots the light out at an angle, perfectly into like the ditches, so you can see wildlife on the road and get that head start. And they're very bright for that little piece of device there. Shoots out a lot of light, and you pay for what you get for it. I have an upgraded grill from Landshark Outfitters, the retro grill, and it just gives it that retro look. I actually like that modification. That's a pro, just the way it looks. I like it. Up here we just have an antenna for comms, which are inside, which I'll get into in a little bit. Pop the hood. Engine is stock, but I did go with the dual battery upgrade, in which I wired all of my lights to a switch panel inside. We have an ARB single compressor hooked up as well, and did all the maintenance. Just upgraded the radiator. I have these lights up here from Yoda Tech, I think it was, which helps out with the lighting in case you do have a repair or you need to perform some roadside maintenance. The lighting helps a lot, actually. It's very bright. Yeah, upgraded. Pretty much all the maintenance is updated. Like I said, I just put a brand new radiator, did the heater keys, clutch fan, all new radiator hoses, and a bunch of other. Pretty much has a whole new front end too, which is we're going to get into. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I'm missing here. Nope. Winch controller, everything there. I've been with the Red Arc, the isolator, the Red Arc isolator to hook up the dual battery system, which runs to my Dometic fridge inside it, which you'll see. But like I said, we're gonna keep this a little brief because it is raining on us over here. Went with a snorkel upgrade. This is just a regular cheap Amazon snorkel. I didn't see a reason to pay $500 for the Safari one, although I'm pretty sure it is better, but this one has been great. I went literally off-roading in the swamps in Florida with this thing, and this thing got me out of some trouble because I was in some pretty deep water up to here. Like I had a little bit of flooding inside the cab. We have these mounts. I forgot the name. I'll go ahead and leave it in the description, but these are awesome compared to the other ones that I had. They were up here, which actually chipped my paint, and the angle wasn't as good. This is a better angle. It shoots in the ditch. You could even turn them more and shoot out more on the side. But these are some other cheap Amazon lights that I got too, and they're okay. They're not the best. The front end, I did upper control arms. I did new steering rack, tie rods, lower ball joints. Just basically the whole front end is rebuilt. I went with a basic Ironman lift kit, which I do kind of regret. It's not the best, but it served its purpose. Up here I have 33s Yeah, these are the BF Goodrich KO2s, been phenomenal. I have 5, actually finally got my first flat, and I'm repairing that as we speak, so it's not on the truck right now, but these are wrapped around Pro Comp. I forgot what kind of wheels these are, but they're very cheap. They're like $120 a wheel, and I just like the way they look. They have that good old school kind of look to it. Off to the side here, I have a water port, which served its purpose awesomely. Taking showers out west, you know, not having to even go to a gym to shower, just being able to have, you know, a quick shower that holds 4 gallons. I could get 2 good, decent showers out of that. Here we have an Ironman shower curtain right next to it, and the system is great. I can hook up the air compressor, run the line through there, have a pressurized water system, and then run the water hose and shower head right directly over the shower curtain, and I have my privacy. And I've showered in Walmart parking lots, rest stops, and even parking lots like on the pier in populated areas. People were giving me funny looks, but overall they kind of like the rig and the setup. Over here on the bottom, we have a pair of Metaltech rock sliders that I got on a deal from them a couple years ago. They shipped them to me bare metal, so I choo-choo train again. So I ended up painting them myself. I just Duracoated them. Right now it's muddy because we were just off-roading yesterday and then today, and it's raining, so the rig is dirty. I use this rig. This isn't a pretty rig. This is a tool for me. I use this. I built this rig, you know, to adventure in. So I use it for that. It's not, you know, classroom, showroom, you know, quality. This rig gets used. I have tinted windows as well. In the back is limo tint. Up front, I think there's like 18%. And I haven't been pulled over or bothered yet. Maybe because I have veterans plates and cops don't really bother me. I might get a little bit of leeway there, but either way, I haven't been bothered, which is kind of nice. Up front, we have I forgot what kind of rain covers those are, but those are a must-have. I mean, just to be able to, like on a rainy day like this, crack the window, get a little bit of air breeze in there has been nice. In the back, you know, same thing. I went with the heavy springs in the back, which ended up, I'm glad I went that route, because when this rig is fully loaded up, it's just nice to have those heavier springs in the back. Obviously, repent and believe in Jesus Christ. This is the off-grid church, so had to throw that in there. In the back here, this is one of the cons. This bumper right here from a company I don't really want to name. Again, if you want, maybe I'll list it in the descriptions, but he's basically a drop shipper. This bumper came from China, and the coating on it was bad. It ended up rusting out. I don't like it. It's heavy, it's bulky looking, don't like the look of it, don't like anything, don't really like the company itself. So that was a con for sure, a modification that I would have definitely did differently and just waited and saved up money for a better bumper. But like I said, my spear is currently getting repaired right now. I'm just patching it from the inside, and it usually goes right here with a Blue Ridge Overland Gear tire mount bag carrier. That bag is awesome. You can shove your dirty clothes in there. You can shove all sorts of stuff. It's very big and spacious. It's awesome. It's not here right now, but I'll roll some B footage of it. I have just a basic bike rack that hooks up to the bumper. It comes with a hitch. Here I'll usually have water or gasoline or both. There's 2 slots for it here. Like I said, I'm probably getting rid of this and going a different route, because this bumper just does not do it for me at all. On this side, we have an Ironman awning, and I do have the privacy, like sort of tent room with it. That is a must-have for overlanders. And basically, if you're going to venture out, it's nice to have shade, especially on rainy days like this, where if I was camping, I would have that popped open. I could be grilling and cooking my food and so forth. Yeah, that's pretty much the outside of, you know, the rig itself. Trying to think about it. If I'm forgetting things, I'm trying to rush because I got my cameraman over here getting wet for me, so I'm trying to make it fast for him. But you know, just love the wheel package. 33s have been more than enough for me to get wherever I wanted, going off and hitting all of the hard, difficult trails. Landcruisers are one of the most phenomenal vehicles, the most reliable vehicles ever. I drove these overseas. I drove Landcruisers and 4Runners overseas, right-hand drive manuals, 1HD turbos, diesel engines, and you know, the 2UZ is bulletproof in these trucks. Anyways, yeah, this pretty much covers the outside of the vehicle. And now we'll jump into the inside modifications, which I did. So on the inside, pretty much basic. I have a aux beam switch panel that I've velcroed right here. I don't want to drill into it yet. I'm still figuring out placement, and I kind of like that placement, but I run the cord right here. I can really drill a hole in here and run the cord through there just for a little cleaner look, but that's where my aux beam switch is at, and the lighting kind of points down so it doesn't blind me at night when I'm driving, which is kind of nice. I have like a little bit of preparedness gear and truck gear up front. I have bear spray or riot spray. You know, I do live in a major city right now, so it's good to get yourself out of a mess if you need to. I have an extra Glock mag, a rescue knife with a glass breaker and a seatbelt cutter on it. I have a pair of shears and a tourniquet in case, you know, you get an accident, you have to wrap your leg, if you're bleeding, whatever the case is. It's just good to have an emergency tourniquet with trauma shears to be able to cut through clothing if you have to. I have a Blue Ridge Overland Gear visor panel, Velcro, which is nice. I have them on both sides. I'll usually load those out. And then on the other side, we'll go around to the other side and talk about my comms really quick. It's actually not that bad out. A little rainy, but pushing through it. All right, so we'll come on this side and talk about the comms that we have. Like I said, another Blue Ridge Overland Gear head visor, a little pouch here. I'll usually shove sunglasses or, you know, insurance papers and anything in there that I want to fit. Up here we have basically a intercom system, which I could talk through the speaker. There's a speaker mounted up on the grill there. Come on, go. Come on. Hey, this is my dog Sadie. You've seen her. If you haven't seen her, you'll see more of her on the channel. But they have an intercom system right there, which is nice. Just to be able to, you know, for you know, group travels or convoys, it's kind of nice. Up here we have a Midland radio as well, GMRS, and that's plugged into right here. Just comms on the radio is kind of nice to have as well. And then the intercom system, another microphone right here. And we have another handheld in case I'm running with a passenger and I want him to scout the route. He can at least take this and communicate. Okay, girl, relax, relax. He can take this radio and go scout the route for me. And what's wrong? It's okay. He can take this radio and go scout the route for me, and I can communicate through him with the GMRS one that's wired through to the antenna there, which is kind of nice. And I do have a Garmin InReach Mini that's mounted right there for just that SOS button in case you need to, or just to send text messages in areas that don't have cell phones. That's the device you want. It's great to have that on hand as a backup in case, you know, emergencies happen. So it's just more for peace of mind. I have a RAM mount that goes up to my cell phone, which is kind of nice. That's a good placement. And these panels here are from Victory 4x4. These like Molly panels that it hooks up to on both sides, and my gear on the other side hooks up to them, and then my radio on there is zip tied to it as well. Haven't had any issues coming loose on the trail, which is very nice. All right, guys, so the back of the vehicle, I'm gonna walk you through my sleeping platform, my drawer system that I did. First, I'll start out with this tailgate storage system from Huracan. This has been great. I usually go off-roading or do training events. Sometimes I'll throw a Second Amendment gear in here, like rifles, chest rigs, anything I need for a course that I'll be taking, or if I'm gonna go to the range. That way it's nice and locked, and you know, you're usually following state laws. You wanna follow the laws if you're traveling outside state to state, and that way you don't have any issues. So having a lockable container with your rifle can go to, you can store all of your Second Amendment goods, or if I'm just going camping or adventuring, I'll throw camping gear back here, tents, food, whatever I can fit in here. It's just really nice, and there's a lot of space in here. Just phenomenal upgrade. One of my favorite upgrades by far. Definitely a pro. This drawer system, Landshark Outfitters, and it came side by side, and I had both of the wings, but I ended up doing my own thing and stacking them myself. They usually have like a stack kit you can get to, but I just did it myself. And I laminate, or like not laminate, but like I shoved these self-adhesive tiles on here to give it more of a homey vibe as I'm sleeping inside. I also cut out 2 containers or 2 holes on the top so I can access things when I'm inside of the cab. And I will have like my stove, a jet boil coffee kit closed there so I can just grab from the inside when I'm sleeping, change, cook some coffee or heat up some coffee, cook some breakfast inside the vehicle, which is nice to have so I can access both. I have 2 of these little cubbies that I can access the top drawer, which is kind of nice. And I have like a little divider in the middle. On the bottom here, I'll have kitchen kit, food, and things like that. So right now, this is, you know, not really set up how I would go on a long distance trip. That would change, and maybe I'll do an updated video on that. But you know, just pots, pans, titanium mugs, food. Got baby wipes, more food in the back. Here, spices up here. You know, some rice. This is actually really good rice. If you're in, I got this at Costco. You just heat it up. It tastes like restaurant quality. Phenomenal for camping. You know, just this usually is my food storage area. And I also have another access right here. And right now I just have that filled up with like beach towels and things like that. But I will throw anything back there too. It's just nice to have storage right there. That opens from the side, and this comes off too. And you know, you can store stuff on top, which I will do as well. I'll store things on top as well. And you know, I had to remodify this because I wanted to sleep inside. I had the rooftop tents on before. I had 2 rooftop tents. I had the most expensive Tepui one, the Kukanum 4 soft shell clamshell one with the cover. That was just a pain in the butt to, you know, set up and put away with that cover. Just kind of overrated. Then I went with the hard shell rooftop tent. That one was easy setup and takedown time, but just climbing in and up the ladder, wintertime, cold, windy, makes a lot of noise. I just feel more secure in the vehicle, and if I am going to camp outside, I will camp on the awning room or bring a ground tent and camp outside if I really want to camp outside. But I love the idea of a sleeping platform low to the ground. Before I would sleep on top when this drawer was side by side and I didn't have enough headroom, and I wanted headroom. It's just a lot of overlanders, I don't think, realize how nice it is to have headroom. So I have 5-inch foam right here that I still got to get upholstered, and just blanket, pillow, very simple, and just gives me the option to lay down. I'm literally like 6'1", 6 feet exactly, and I have more than enough room laying down. That way I can just sit up, have headroom, stretch out. It's a way better option to sleep, especially in the wintertime. In the summertime, it does get a little warm because you're sleeping inside the vehicle and it's insulated. But in the wintertime, it's awesome. Plus, you can stealth camp anywhere. I can stealth camp on, you know, residential streets, especially out west. Or I can stealth camp in Walmart parking lots, and just looks like a regular vehicle. When you're rooftop tent camping, you cannot stealth camp. So, plus, this gives me a lot more option to store more gear on top of the vehicle, which is what I like, which is what we're going to get into now. But that's very much the overall build on the inside as well. We will come around actually to the side, and I'll show you how I have some hygiene set up as well. And here I just have, this is a drone that I'll take with me, you know, doing photography and YouTube channel. It's nice to have. It's a day hike pack that I can turn into a 1 or 3 day pack. I'm gonna do a separate video on how I have that loaded out as well. So stay tuned, subscribe. You guys can if you like the channel. If not, give it a thumbs down. I really don't care. I'm gonna do my thing anyways. Up top, I have, this is a Hygiene pack right here. And inside, and it just Velcros right into the Blue Ridge Overland Gear headrest, which is nice. It just Velcros on there. It stays put. No matter how rocky the trails are, it hasn't come off. It doesn't even make noise. I'll have shampoo, body wash, beard oil, just soap, toothbrush, all of that in there. So that's a little hygiene pack. And plus, if I am gonna go to a gym and take a shower, I can just rip this off and put it in my gym bag. And it's easy to access to you know, take a shower, even in those truck stops. Because I have a CDL, so I can take showers at those truck stops, which is nice. In here, I have a patch with a elephant and its tusk, because this is more of a toothbrush container. I'll have extra toothbrushes and toothpaste stored in there. Here is toilet paper. Always be ready with the toilet paper. And I have toilet paper in there, some baby wipes as well. It's just good to have that. I also have Molly panel right here. A winch, my wireless winch controller, a screwdriver, a flashlight for nighttime, a fire hydrant, a fire extinguisher, just in case, you know, never be too safe. It's good to always have a fire extinguisher. And in here I have, right now, just a towel and some garbage bags and things like that. So underneath here, underneath the foam, I do hold my shower head that goes onto the water port. And you know, I just like it on this side because then everything's on this side. And then here I also have the Blue Ridge Overland gear. This is just basically to the air compressor, my airlines hose, which will pressurize that system, fill up my air tires if I need to, and you know, some other things like glue and tire gauges and things like that in here. Also a tire repair kit from ARB, full tire repair kit. You can plug and repair on the road, you know, which is kind of nice. So you know, most times if you have a repair or you get a flat, you can plug it yourself and hit the road without having to worry about anything. Another thing is just being self-reliant, independent, doing things yourself without any help. It's just good to be self-reliant. And then also a tool bag right there, which has a lot of tools that I would need to pretty much do any and major repair as well. Nothing too major, obviously, but I can pretty much fix anything with all those tools that are in there. There's like probably 200 piece tool kit in there. You know, wrenches, sockets, everything. And then so over here I have a Jackery 500 just for extra power inside to charge my electronics, my phone, my tablet when I watch movies. Again, I have a Dometic 55 CFX 355. It's a little too big. I'm actually going to downgrade to a smaller refrigerator, so I will be selling that as well. But that right now directly runs to my dual battery system, so that powers that. And then I also have just a Jackery 500 just for extra power, and I do have the 100 watt foldable solar panel that comes with it as well. That blue container, I don't know if you guys can see it, probably not on this side, but actually we'll just go to the other side. Hey, and it stopped raining. On this side I also got a pair of flippies. Combat flip-flops. These guys are awesome, veterans, best flip-flops. I've had these for 5 years now and they just run. And I have been in a fight in these. Bad for running, worse for fighting, and they are worse for fighting, trust me. I rigged another wooden platform to hold and support the refrigerator on top to allow more storage on the bottom, which has been great. And that just hooks up straight to the drawer system. On here I have a Lifesaver water filtration container. This is amazing for backcountry, off-roading, overlanding, just to be able to fill up water. It already has a built-in water filtration system to purify your water and make it drinkable, which is important. And it holds 5 liters. Yeah, it's 5 liters. So it's been great having that on the trail. I have a first aid and trauma kit up top in case there's a major accident. I also have just bug spray or bug bite kits, snake bite kits, you know, major trauma wound kits, gunshot wound kit in there. Everything is packed in there. Bandages, Neosporin, antibiotic cream, burn cream, everything that I need fits in there, which is nice to have because if you run into any problem medically, you know, 9 times out of 10 I'm gonna have what you need in there. On the bottom here, I have my scuttle. Just being able to cook on the scuttle out in the backcountry has been phenomenal. I've cooked some great meals anywhere I want, even in modern urban areas. Just being able to set up the grill in a Walmart parking lot, cook some burgers, cook anything you want. Just being able to eat good on the trail has been just awesome. I love that grill. That is my favorite grill all time. Although I will still cook on the JetBlow when I get lazy or I don't feel like setting it up or going the extra mile. And just, you know, you don't have to eat world-class meals every time you're on the trail, but it is nice, and the Scalo does provide that option. So that's pretty much it, guys. That wraps up the build. I built this truck to adventure in, to travel in, and to be self-reliant in doing so. And it's just been really nice being able to have a vehicle that is a travel adventure vehicle, a bug out vehicle, an SHTF vehicle that can get you out of Dodge. I do live in a major city, and if something happens, you know, where the world is going, World War III, whatever, conspiracy guys, anything, you know, the world, society collapses, I can just get in this vehicle, head out, and sustain myself and live out of this vehicle permanently, pretty much. As long as there's gas, obviously, to get me where I need to go, which is why I carry extra fuel as well, which is not on here. But we did this video last second. There's some things that I did leave out, and I will upgrade later. One other thing is my recovery, which we're going to talk about, wrapped in this Pelican Volt case. And I plan on adding more of these for more gear. But right now we have just a Pelican Volt 700, I believe, that model. and it's waterproof, watertight, and I have all of my recovery gear in here, and that gives me the confidence to just go anywhere and get myself out of trouble. So I have a silky, I forgot which one this is, Sugawaz I want to say, but I've had to use this once, maybe twice, but once for sure. There was a smaller log in the middle of the road, and it was the only way to, was to go through it, and I had to use this to cut through it, which is nice. So, wood processing as well, it's just good to have a saw. I have toe straps in here. I have the safe jack, which is with the extended links to be able to lift up lifted vehicles up off the ground and be able to change a flat tire or whatever the case is. I have an extra battery pack to charge my battery. I have bolt cutters in here. I have goes to my those NATO gas tanks, the plastic ones. I forgot what they're called, but just twists on there and you could refill your gas in your tank with this. So refuel gas in here too. I have that in here. I have some straps, some road flares, and just any other basic things to complement my winch to tow myself out. My Max Track boards are not currently mounted. They're at home. I'm trying to figure out how to mount those right now, but Max Track boards as well as a must. It's just good to have that as another option to get yourself some extra traction out of muddy trails, and before you have to bust out the winch. So that's my recovery gear. Container up top held in this Pelican storage case. I do plan on adding a few more to hold more gear, clothes, camping gear, survival gear. I do like to go out and backpack and leave my rig somewhere and just go out and backpack for several days up to a week and just live off the land and exercise skills. That's what it's about. It's about being self-reliant, like I said, and that's why I built this rig, to be self-reliant, to accommodate self-reliance, and also to motivate me to get out and get away from the city and go explore and get closer to God and see his beautiful creations and go hunting and just get out. It's nice. That's why I built this rig. All right, guys. Again, this is Brother Bobby with the Off Grid Church. If you have any questions or comments or anything I left out, please ask me in the comment section and I'll answer your guys' questions. I know there's a lot of 100 series guys, a lot of overlanding, and if you're like me, you'll watch hundreds of these videos and get different ideas because it never gets old. I just love seeing how people's rigs are set up, and I wanted to share my rig with you guys. So I hope you guys liked it. If you guys like the channel, if you guys like what I stand for, I'm about God, guns, America, country, loyalty, honesty, truth, and just being a good individual, loving your neighbor. And if those things fit with you guys, tactical training, tactics, guns, all that stuff, consider subscribing. And I'll be trying to push out as much content as I can now that I have a good camera guy. It's my nephew, good camera guy, so we'll be pushing out some more content. It's just a lot easier than some of my other videos, setting up cameras. There's a lot of work by yourself. So hope you guys enjoyed it, and keep you guys focused on the Lord. As much as crazy times in this world has been through, and the crazier times that are going to come, it's important to just keep your focus on the Lord Jesus Christ and know that he is in control no matter what. That's why I don't fear the New World Order plan, elites, whatever you want to call it, things that are happening in the world that just are funny. A lot of those conspiracy guys are actually turning out to be right, so it seems. And it's just good to know that the Lord always has victory in the end. And it's just good to have a rig like this to put all your worries aside and go out into the backcountry, hit the trails with some good people, cook some good food, and get to know the Lord in some nice, peaceful solitude. God bless, guys. Brother and Bobby, over and out.